Hey everyone, Colin once again, and welcome back to the movie review, and we're gonna yet another animated movie, and it's another one of the animated films released by DreamWorks Animation, and for this one, reviewing Shark Tale. Shark Tale was released in year 2004, and has an all-star voice cast. Stars Will Smith, Robert De Niro, Renee Zellweger, Angelina Jolie, Jack Black, and director Martin Scorsese. I thought all the whole voice cast does a really good job, and I do enjoy Shark's Tale. It's now with Shark Tale. I know there's other DreamWorks films I do enjoy more than this though, but I think it's just it's not one of my favorite animated films, or not even my favorite DreamWorks animated film, but I still like it. Just simply because for the all-star voice cast in this, and you have three directors in making this. One of them is actually Rob Letterman, who he was also one of the co-directors of Monsters vs. Aliens, and he also directed Gulliver's Travels, the live-action one with Jack Black, and also another one starring Jack Black, and that was the live-action of Goosebumps. So yeah, Rob Letterman is one of the three directors of this, and it came out, was a big hit. It was number one for I think it was 3 weeks in a row, and on its budget of $75 million, in total worldwide made $367 million, and domestically made 160 million. So it was a big hit. It was one of the highest grossing films of 2004, and was even nominated for an Oscar for Best Animated Film. But unfortunately, it didn't have the highest praise. It has a 6.0 on IMDb, but has a 35% Rotten Tomatoes. So I don't think it was not given the highest praise like the other DreamWorks films. So, but I enjoyed the film. The cast does a really good job. The score by Hans Zimmer, which the score was likable. It was an easy, we should say. It's like an easy feel type of score, and I like Hans Zimmer, and always enjoy scores on a lot of films, and so his score was likable in this. So get into the story. Yeah, this it's under the sea, of course, but it's called Reef City, and you have this fish named Oscar, voiced by Will Smith. He always has this thing about he wants to be rich and all that, and which he can't be, but he works at this whale wash, and he's one of the washers for the whales. Getting scrubbing the tongues and all the algae and fungus, whatever. But he wants to follow his father's footsteps because he has this picture of his father, and he works for his boss, the whale wash, who is a pufferfish by a name Sykes, that's voiced by director Martin Scorsese. And really not that he owes him money, but he has a way of paying him back is is a bet for a racetrack. Like horse racing, except it's seahorse racing. And but her friend, his friend Angie, voiced by Renee Zellweger, when knows about his money problems, and gives like this pearl, mostly from her grandmother, pawns it so that he can make the money and pay Sykes back. And at the track meets with all this fish named Lola, voiced by Angelina Jolie, and which makes it like they kind of likes her, but also she leaves, and then also at the same time, while the horse, though he knows that it was like, I think it was like the race was rigged, and he expects that the horse that he bet on was about to cross the finish line, but of course it trips and falls over, doesn't win the race, and now Sykes has to do with just to get rid of him now. So he has his two men, these two jellyfish. One is voiced by Ziggy Marley, and the other one is voiced by Dougie Doug, which I remember from Eight-Legged Freaks. Is Harlan. He was the DJ for the radio in the Eight-Legged Freaks, and I also remember another movie as well, in which they're both like Jamaican jellyfish. So they take him, they tie him up, they tie him up, and they just like having fun. They're like electrocuting him a little bit. And while that's going on, you have on the other side of the reef, you have this sunken ship, which is kind of like a Titanic reference. And of course, you have this mob family, which is they're great white sharks, and of course, it's also referencing Godfather type stuff as well. And the crime lord or father, Don Lino, voiced by Robert De Niro, he's having problems because his son Lenny, voiced by Jack Black, he wants him to be a trained killer. He wants to be a real shark. He wants to eat something. But Lenny's a vegetarian, and he doesn't want to kill anything, he doesn't want to eat anything like that. And that makes his father angry, so he has his Lenny's brother Frankie, voiced by Michael Imperoli, which this guy was a bit more like a bit on the show The Sopranos. In which you have another person also from the Sopranos, Vincent Pastor, as this Don Lino's I guess right hand man. I guess he's an octopus, and I think he was also from the Sopranos as well, because the Sopranos like those like a mob, those. Now I have not seen the Sopranos, so I'm sure I know a lot of people have, but I've not seen The Sopranos, and I know probably it's like this is the same thing like the mob stuff like that, the Italian mob, whatever. But yeah, but they got that, and so Frankie takes Lenny out, wants to teach him how to be a real shark, and they see Oscar tied up, and Lenny is going to go up there, but he's like, oh no, don't worry, no, I'm not going to help you, I'm going to set you free and all that. And Frankie sees that he's not doing it, so he's going to do it himself. But before that, an anchor drops down on him, and it kills him. And now Lenny is upset, and he's feeling guilty about it, so he runs away. And because they scare Frankie scared the jellyfish off before he got hit. But they see that they think that he did it. He killed the shark, and Oscar uses this to get famous, saying, "Oh, I killed the shark, and I am the sharkslayer." That's what he calls himself, the sharkslayer. And he gets very famous. And back with Don Lino, he wants to know who did this to his son, and talking to another older shark, and it's actually voiced by Peter Falk, Columbo himself. May he rest in peace, Peter Falk. And he's like, he calls him the Sharkslayer. Who is this Sharkslayer? So Oscar is using his fame and he makes himself like very rich. And when night comes, that one thing looks like he meets Lenny. And it's like, oh, it's you. It's like, oh, shh, there's a Sharkslayer around here. He's like, no, there is no Sharkslayer. Oh, yes, there is. No, there's not. And like you see some kids like they see some kids like make graffiti on a wall, like a picture of Oscar as a Sharkslayer slaying a shark, and Lenny knows that he's a fraud. He's like, oh, you lied. No, I didn't. He's like, yes, you did. And he's like, okay, I told it was a little lie, you know. And Lenny threatens to, you know, because he can't go home, but he probably threatens to go back and tell them anyway, because since he lied and all that, and it says, okay, you can come live with me, you know. And we'll let another that Angie finds out that he lied as well, because Lenny said something. And he has a plan to make this like more if he's a real Sharkslayer. So, him and Lenny stage a thing where he's a shark. He's a real shark, and he's attacking. And they stage the whole thing where I slay the shark and throws him somewhere off. So and that makes him try to convince him that everyone he really is a Sharkslayer. And one thing is that he's like trying to get together with Jolie's character, like a Lola, but that upsets Angie. But then one thing is that she leaves her for her. And like trying to like trying to give her chocolates. You have that song. I forget what that song was called. Dun 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 dun. Oh, I can't do it though. But and then she finds out that she's been kidnapped by Don Lino. So they organize like a sit down. And Lenny, he disguises himself as a dolphin, and Sykes goes with him as well. And which I find kind of funny is that at the sit down, right? You have sharks like the great whites and the hammerhead too. You get swordfishes there, which is kind of odd because the sharks eat fish and maybe even swordfish as well. But even killer whales are there as well. I thought that killer whales were like enemies of the great white because if you remember like Orca the killer whale, the movie, an orca just completely destroy that great white shark at the beginning of the movie. I thought they were like enemies and stuff like that. So I guess in this, killer whales are like have peace with the sharks, I guess. I don't know. I always find that weird because I'm watching because there's killer whales sitting next to great white sharks. So, and Oscar is doing his talk, and they see the Angie's tied up, and like Sebastian Lenny, because the dolphin name using a name Sebastian. It makes him, he just goes right up and swallows her, but then he spits her back out, and of course you get another reference where all the stuff that he spits out like a violin, even including a license plate that's a reference to Jaws as well. There was also another reference to Jaws where Oscar and Lenny were staging the whole thing, him being the Sharkslayer. There's like a billboard that has like the Jaws logo on it, the shark and the whatever, like the front cover, the poster. Yeah, but one of the things he regurgitates is his license plate that kind of looks like that one from the movie Jaws. And then Don finds out that's his son, and he's asking, "Well, why did you?" He's like, "Oh, you don't take sides against the family. And look what you did to my son. You made him into a dolphin. I'm gonna get you." So he chases Oscar all the way to the whale wash, and one of the listeners that he actually traps Lenny in the machines, and then traps Don Lino in the other part, And then the crowd is like, "Oh, he did it again!" And but then he can't take too much attention because you see Andy's in the back, and so, like, he comes out and confesses, "I am not a real shark slayer. I lied." And Don's like, "What?" And he explains the whole thing, that it was an anchor that killed Frankie, and he had nothing to do with it. And Don's like, "Well, what was it? That's the way to run away because he wanted him to be like Frankie." And Oscar saying that everyone loves Lane the way he is. Don't make the same mistake that I did. So now Don, is feeling, sad. He's like, "You get me out of this thing so I can hug my kid." So they hug it out, and everything is all good and well. And now the Sykes and Oscar are now partners in the business. And then you get like a musical musical ending, sing a song, and then like the sharks. There's peace between the sharks and the fish, so they're like doing a little thing as well. So yeah, Shark Tale. I like the film. So I remember the first time when it came out back years ago. Went in the theater. I had fun watching in the theater. I did. Because DreamWorks animation. It's not. I know that DreamWorks animation is not on the same. It's definitely not on the same level as Disney, especially Walt Disney Studios and Pixar. I know they're not on the same level. I don't expect them. I know they don't. I don't expect them to make the big bucks the insane amount of money that Disney does. I mean, DreamWorks' animation is his own thing. It makes his own good sets of animated films. Everyone, probably a lot of people like the Shrek films, this film, the Madagascar films, especially How to Train Your Dragon. I love the franchise. I love How to Train Your Dragon. Monsters vs. Aliens, I love, but they're never gonna do a sequel to that. I always keep bringing that up because I always want to see a sequel, but that's never gonna happen. Other ones, well, there's Wallace the Wallace and Gromit Curse of the Were Rabbit. Oh yeah, Kung Fu Panda 1, 2, and 3. Then there, of course, there was a new one, Trolls, which I've not seen. I have not seen Trolls yet. And I know I've seen the trailer for the new one, the Boss Baby, the one that Alec Baldwin voices. I mean, I like Alec Baldwin, but that animated film, I'm not too excited for. The Boss Baby. I mean, also Home, the one that Rihanna voiced, and Jim Parsons from The Big Bang Theory voiced. I know my brother hated that movie as well. He hated Home, and especially he hated the alien's name. He thought it was annoying. He just didn't like that movie. But I think Home was alright. But the Boss Baby, I'm not too excited for. I think the Croods, that's another one. The Croods look better. Rise of the Guardians. This is other ones. I know. I'm getting at that I know DreamWorks is not on the same level as Disney is by a long shot. They don't, especially with critics, and then the amount of money it makes. The biggest one for DreamWorks, the highest one is Shrek 2, which I enjoy Shrek 2, but for the DreamWorks films, they still make some good movies. Shark Tale, I like. Especially for the voice cast, I enjoy Will Smith. Robert De Niro, I thought he did like a good mobster type of voice as well. I've ever seen The Godfather and all that. I like Robert De Niro. Renee Zellweger, she was fine. Same. Angelina Jolie's character, Lola, I would say probably the only nitpick I have is that character. I think that she could have just been left out, personally. But that's like the only nitpick I have with the film. I think they just could have left out that character. But Jack Black I like as Lenny. Director Martin Scorsese as Sykes. I thought he was fine as well. It's not often for the director to do a voice in another animated film that's not him directing. And I think he also released a new film. It was called Silence. It was that one with Andrew Garfield and Liam Neeson. I haven't seen it, so, but I think that's like the newest one that he directed. But and also a little voice role by Peter Falk as well, and the others, may rest in peace. And it was nice to hear him in that. So overall, the voice cast is good, and I like the score by Hans Zimmer. It's not that long of a movie. It's like only, yeah, without the end credits, it's an hour. It's 90 minutes. Without the end credits, it's probably just 85 minutes. And 35% Rotten Tomatoes. I can understand why. Probably not everybody's don't care for it, but I like Shark Tale. I remember seeing it back in the day. Had fun with it. The animation was pretty decent first because I know the difference because it's not the same type of animation like Disney is, but I still like Shark Tale. So I would recommend if you're a fan of DreamWorks, I would recommend you see it. If you don't like it, you don't like it, but I like Shark Tale. It's another good DreamWorks animated film. But anyway, that's my review for Shark Tale. Good animated film, at least to me though. But it's not the best though. It's not the best. It's not one of my favorites though. But I like it. So anyway, thanks for watching, and stay tuned on the next movie review. Later.